Have you ever found yourself in a room where the air feels thick with whispers? Where you can almost taste the bitterness of words spoken just out of earshot? This is the world of gossip. It is a world built on the shaky ground of jealousy. I have seen it time and time again. A group of people huddle together, their eyes darting around. They speak in hushed tones about someone who isn't there. They dissect that person's choices, their clothes, their life. They do this because deep down, they feel a lack in their own lives. They see something in another that they wish they had. So they try to tear it down with their words. This act of tearing someone else down feels powerful for a moment. It creates a false sense of connection between the people who are gossiping. They bond over their shared criticism. But what happens when the conversation ends? What is left when the target of their words has been thoroughly picked apart? An emptiness settles in. The temporary high of feeling superior fades away, leaving behind a hollow feeling. The very jealousy that fueled their words now turns inward. They are left alone with their own insecurities, which now feel even bigger and louder than before. The gossip did not fix anything. It only deepened the wound. I remember watching two young women who were once the best of friends. They did everything together, sharing dreams and secrets. Then, one of them started to achieve great things in school. She was celebrated and recognized for her hard work. Instead of celebrating with her, the other friend felt a sting of jealousy. She started spending time with a different group. They would whisper about her old friend. They made up stories. They questioned her success. The friendship, once a source of joy and strength, crumbled under the weight of those whispers. The gossiping friend was left with new shallow connections and a profound sense of loss. The truth is, the harm of gossip is a boomerang. It always comes back to the one who throws it. When you spend your precious energy focusing on the perceived flaws or fortunes of others, you are stealing that energy from yourself. You are draining your own well of potential. You are choosing to live in the shadows of someone else's life instead of stepping into the brilliant sunshine of your own. You become a spectator to your own existence. This is the whispering trap. It promises a sense of belonging, but only delivers isolation. It promises power, but leaves you feeling weaker than ever before. Negativity is more than just a bad mood. It is a weight. Jealousy is more than a fleeting feeling. It is a chain. When you allow these forces to take root in your heart, you are wrapping yourself in invisible shackles. Think about it. When you are constantly comparing yourself to others, you are never truly present in your own life. You are always looking over your shoulder. You are always measuring your worth against an impossible standard. This constant comparison is a prison. It keeps you stuck, replaying the same loop of "I'm not good enough" over and over again. It locks the door to your own happiness and throws away the key. This cycle is so incredibly lonely. When you view the world through a lens of jealousy, everyone becomes a potential threat. A friend's success is no longer a reason to celebrate. It becomes a personal failure. A stranger's happiness becomes a reminder of what you lack. This mindset pushes people away. It builds invisible walls around your heart. Others can sense that negativity. They feel the critical energy. Soon, you find yourself alone, wondering why no one wants to be around you. The truth is, you have created an environment where joy cannot survive and connection cannot blossom. You have become the gatekeeper of your own loneliness. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with rocks everywhere you go. Each rock represents a negative thought, a jealous feeling, a piece of gossip. With every step, the weight gets heavier. It slows you down. It makes it hard to climb. It exhausts you. This is what negativity does to your spirit. It drains your energy and makes it impossible to move forward. You want to pursue your dreams, but the weight is too much. You want to form new friendships, but you are too tired to make the effort. You are stuck, not because you lack ability, but because you are carrying a burden that was never yours to hold. The most tragic part of this whole story is that you are the one who puts the chains on. You are the one who chooses to pick up each rock and place it in your backpack. These are the mental chains we forge ourselves. They are made of negative self-talk and a critical view of the world. They whisper lies to you in your quietest moments. They tell you that you are not worthy. They tell you that you will never measure up. And because you are the one who created them, you are the only one with the power to take them off. The first step is realizing that you are the one holding the key. So, how do you break free? How do you begin to unlock these heavy, invisible chains that have held you captive for so long? It starts with a simple, yet profound choice. the choice to be kind. I'm not just talking about being kind to others, though that is a huge part of it. I am talking about starting with kindness toward yourself. You must become your own greatest ally. When that negative voice in your head starts to whisper its lies, you have to learn to speak back to it with love. You have to tell it, no, that is not my truth. I am worthy. I am capable. I am enough, just as I am. This practice of self-love is like a muscle. It gets stronger the more you use it. Start small. Look in the mirror each morning and find one thing you appreciate about yourself. It could be your smile. It could be the way you handled a difficult conversation. It could be that you simply got out of bed and are ready to face the day. Celebrate these small victories. Write them down in a journal. Over time, you will begin to rewire your brain. You will be training your mind to look for the good in yourself. This is how you begin to melt the chains of negative self-talk, link by link. Then, you take that kindness and you turn it outward. Make a conscious effort to stop the cycle of gossip. When you are in a group and someone starts to speak negatively about another person, you have a choice. You can politely change the subject. You can say something positive about the person being discussed. You can simply walk away. This action sends a powerful message. It says, I will not participate in tearing others down. In doing so, you not only protect the dignity of another person, but you protect your own spirit from the poison of negativity. You choose light over darkness. And finally, you must seek your tribe. Find people who lift you up. Find friends who celebrate your successes as if they were their own. Community is the antidote to loneliness. When you are surrounded by people who see the best in you, it becomes easier to see the best in yourself. Share your struggles with them. Be vulnerable. Allow them to remind you of your strength when you have forgotten it. A true community is a circle of support, where kindness is the currency, and everyone's growth is a shared goal. This is how we break free together. This is how we find our way back to the light. The power to change your entire life resides in this very moment. It is in the choice you are about to make. Will you continue to feed the gossip? Will you let jealousy color your view of the world? Or will you decide, right here and now, to starve that negativity? Will you choose to focus on the good within yourself and the good in others? This is the most important decision you will ever make. It is the choice between living a life in chains or a life of freedom. It is the choice between emptiness and a heart that is full to bursting with joy. You do not need to wait for permission from anyone. I have known people whose lives were ruled by bitterness. They were angry at the world for what they didn't have. They spent all their time complaining and criticizing, and their lives were small and gray. Then, one day, they made a different choice. A woman I knew started volunteering at an animal shelter. By pouring her energy into caring for these creatures, she found a purpose that was bigger than her own jealousy. A young man started a gratitude journal, writing down 3 things he was thankful for every single night. Slowly, his focus shifted from what was missing to what was abundant. Their circumstances didn't change overnight, but their hearts did. Your life is your story to write. Every single day, you pick up the pen. You can write a story of comparison and sadness, or you can write a story of growth and compassion. Avoid the temptation of the whisper. When you hear gossip, let it be a reminder to send a silent, kind thought to the person being discussed. When you feel the sting of jealousy, let it be a signal to turn inward and ask yourself, what is it that I truly desire? And what is one small step I can take today to move toward it? Use these negative feelings not as anchors, but as compasses, guiding you back to your own path. So I leave you with this. You are the master of your own heart. You are the keeper of your own peace. Do not give that power away to gossip. Do not surrender it to jealousy. Do not let negative thoughts build a prison in your mind. You were born with a free heart, and you can choose to live with one every single day. Choose kindness. Choose self-love. Choose to see the best in people. Choose to build a community that celebrates and supports. Choose to live a life so full of your own light that there is simply no room for shadow. This is your truth. Go live it.